Hey.
Hey.
I'm not going to sing it.
You sure?
Okay, maybe a little bit.
Zenshu.
Hey.
Zenshu.
Hey.
Zenshu.
We are talking about
The first season.
First season of Zenshu.
Yeah.
We have already done an initial review of this show, but this is going to be all about season 1.
Yeah.
Now, Zenshu is from the famed studio MAPPA, who, of course, did Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and the last season of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
They are notorious. They are huge. And this is definitely a different flavor than those shows.
It definitely is. It definitely is. It's unique.
Yes.
It's an isekai in a way that I haven't really seen an isekai done before.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, we read an interview with the author of the show, and she said that they basically figured that like isekai would already be dead and gone by the time this show came out, but of course isekai can never die because isekai is a proven formula, just like Pokemon, just like McDonald's. Isekai is probably here to stay.
Yeah, well, and all different manga and anime, they're trying to do it in a new, different way. And, you know, and Zenshu is actually successful in doing something completely different.
It really is, yeah. I mean, so this is one of those anime about animators.
Yeah.
We never watch Bakugan, so we don't see a lot of content like this, but I thought it was a really interesting way to sort of get to isekai. Do you want to give the plot, or should I give the plot?
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Let's do it.
Stop me if I go wild.
Don't worry, if you go wild and get it wrong, I'll just Zenshu.
Okay, so our main character is Natsuko.
Yeah.
She is an animator. She was like a genius animator, genius anime director. Her first project was amazing. And she's getting to work on her second project, but it's all about first love. Now her first one was an action one, and now like she's trying to figure out what is love. Well, she's like working really hard and she dies.
Yes.
And she gets transported to a different world. Now, she doesn't get transported to just some, random world. She actually gets transported into the world of her favorite anime movie from her childhood. The one that, like, inspired her to become an animator.
Yeah.
The world that she goes into, it's a sad world.
It is.
And the end of the movie that she loved so much has a very depressing ending.
Yeah, this is a movie called A Tale of Perishing.
That is a good name for it.
Yeah.
Now she has a chance to sort of save the world, to make it a happier ending. Take these characters that were beloved to her and give them something better.
Yeah.
She gets to meet the characters that she loved. She intervenes and tries to save everyone, and calamity ensues and hilarity ensues. She has one of the greatest transformation into magical girl that ever happens. You know how like they all like fly into the sky and change into like some new cool outfit. Yeah, in her case she falls and lands at her magical cubicle and draws and saves the day.
I really enjoy these isekai that you still have like some kind of normal person in society job, even though you're in the isekai. There's that like headhunted salaryman one, campfire cooking, where he has like online shopping.
Yeah.
And this, her power is her job. It is being an animator, but like a super fast, super magical animator.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting thing because in so many of these isekai, it's a student, it's a it's a normal person, it's somebody that what they need to be in this other world so that they can feel this power that they've never felt. But she was a genius animator. She was successful, height of her career, and she falls into this, and so it's like it's a really unique situation where she has to be there so that she can learn lessons and learn about herself, and
and I like that it's also like she mentions in like the first or second episode, like, does this only happen in NEETs?
Yeah.
Does this only happen to people that have no life?
Yeah.
Like my wish fulfillment is to get back and do my job.
Yeah.
That character of her is definitely more motivated to kind of figure out like, where am I? How do I get out of here? What am I dead? What's going on? For an isekai, she has a little more of a character that you believe is a real character.
Yeah, for
as
sure.
opposed to a lot of these sort of male protagonists we tend to get that are just very much blank slates.
Yeah. Yeah, her look though is hilarious because
Yes.
because she's not a shut-in. She has this amazing job and is fantastic at it. But she lives kind of like a hermit. Everything is about her work. Everything is about her animating. And so she kind of looks like a crazy person or like a monster with her hair all in her face and like
one of the emphasis of this show is the fact that she has writer's block.
Yeah.
Is that she's got this movie to make, she can't do the storyboards, and so part of it is like she won't cut her hair until she finishes the storyboards, and so because of that she just has this like crazy swamp of like hair.
Yeah.
So she gets this world and she meets all of the main protagonists. She was obsessed as a kid, so she had all their character sheets, she had all their merch, so she knows everything about them, and of course she's seen the movie many times, so she knows exactly how it's going to play out. Now that she's here and now that she has this power, she intervenes and the film is changing.
Yeah.
And she's changing like with them, and what's cool about it is it's almost like a time travel movie.
Yeah. You know, it was really cool and really fun and just so interesting to when you think about like what would happen if you go in and change certain aspects of any movie. You know, where would it go from there? How would it diverge? How would it stay the same? You know, would it all come back together? Like, are the results always how they have to be, or can you change it and make it something new?
I really liked it. And I really liked her, and I liked the comedy. There are a few episodes in this show that I just thought were phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's funny because the writer of this wrote 3 episodes of Metallic Rouge. What I find hilarious about that, while watching it before I knew that information, I thought to myself, this reminds me of me at least watching Metallic Rouge, where the first episodes I liked, but it was a little slow going, and then like in the back half, especially the like final 3 or 4 episodes, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like this is really, really strong storytelling, great animation. I care. It's like scary. It's insane. And
I think it starts off really strong and it ends really strong. There's in the middle. I think that the slowness sort of comes a little bit more in the middle of it, where where there it's not like there isn't exciting stuff happening, but it's sort of it's just sort of going through what's going on. It isn't like big excitement.
I think the reason is because a traditional isekai is like playing a video game. It's like solo leveling. You start in a place, you get more and more and more and more powerful. With her, it's not about that. It's about like changing, figuring out this world. And so it's not, her power isn't advancing. There's no build.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm really used to.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. There's usually like training and there's, and physically becoming stronger. And in this, it's not about that at all. Like we said, she's incredibly successful and incredibly talented at what she does.
Yeah.
So instead of her having to train and become better at it, she just has to learn more about herself, learn more about people.
Yeah.
And she has to become better at what she does, but not in the same way. It's like, it's by learning more she becomes better, but not by like training more.
You're right. And so in a way, it's almost like a character study.
Yeah.
It's almost like an indie film or something.
Watch this girl experience things and become a real girl.
It is. And the author did say that, like, while she was writing it, she was doing action, it was getting dark, but she had to remind herself that she was writing, like, basically a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And that is essentially what this is, even though you don't really get that until like midway through.
I did like though, reading the interview that you're talking about, the creator of it, that she originally it was going to be like really, really comedic, where every episode she was going to die and then come back into a new book or whatever that she liked, that she knew.
But it was every time it was going to be because of clams, because of spoiled clams.
Yeah.
In episode 7, when it is about her life and about her upbringing, it's so slice of life. I loved that episode. I was so into it.
It was so great because it was from the perspective of other people that have interacted with her, that like she touched their life in some way.
Yeah.
And hearing their thoughts on her and the way that she touched their lives, it's unique.
Not just that, they were in love with her.
Yeah.
Like she was a bunch of other people's first love.
Yeah.
But to her, she was focused since a child at being the best artist, being the best animator. And so she had no time for any of that stuff. Seeing her grow up and seeing her personality young and then to an adult, I understood her so much better. I understood her genius.
Yeah.
And frankly, in a way, I almost felt like I could have watched this show.
Yeah.
You know, I could have watched this slice of life show about a young girl becoming this amazing animator.
Yeah, well, and it's great because, you know, the other characters in it, the ones, you know, from A Tale of Perishing, they also grow, they change, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, because she really is the focus. And, you know, in other things, in other isekai and stuff, I feel like, you know, the main character is always the main character. They're the one that matters the most, but I feel like the side characters, like, seeing them evolve too is also important. In this, you know, they do change a little bit, but really it's all about Natsuko.
It is, and I also really love watching an isekai that is from the point of view of a woman, because it's directed by a woman and written by a woman, because like we don't see a lot of the same sort of tired tropes of isekai, like a lot of isekai are frankly harem anime.
Yeah.
They're usually like a guy, he shows up, and he usually has like two main women that tend to be, they're actually mystical animals that decide to become like sexy women.
And they're obsessed with him.
And they're obsessed with him, and then
yeah.
you like, and it's kind of like, and it's cute, it's fun, and it's got its own like indulgences, but like, it's also a trope.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to see something that really wasn't about that. And like all these people came together and it was more like Nakama. It was more like finding a family. And I also like that, you know, preconceived notions, right? Like she knew these characters and like she liked this character Yunio, who by the way, I didn't like Yunio in the beginning. And I think by the end of the show, Yunio was my favorite character.
Yunio's great.
And they don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
And so Yunio is this like really cute, courageous character in the movie. But when he and Natsuko get together, they're feuding, and he is mean, and he is not nice, and he's not cute.
Yeah.
And I love that relationship.
Absolutely. Her main focus is Luke Braveheart.
Yes.
He's the main hero of it. And the character that she was most obsessed with, that she drew, you know, over and over again. Like.
And my favorite part is that we watched the anime, no dub, it's in Japanese, and his name is Luke Braveheart.
Yeah.
Like, this is not like a bad, like, English translation.
No, his name is 100%
Luke Braveheart. I love it. Who's your favorite character?
I mean, Natsuko.
Yeah. At least every episode there's some moment that surprises me.
Each character in it really does get at least like one episode where you really get to relate to them and you really care about them. And so they really do matter. You know, and it's a really nice thing. So it's like Memlin, the elf, and Yunio, and you know, they all have their moments. QJ. Oh,
yes, QJ is
a great one.
I also like that they have a dragon who has amazing purple hair.
Yes.
She is awesome.
Yeah.
And I love her backstory. It's really nice sometimes to just get like a limited series. Like this is 12 episodes, this is the whole story. We're not going to keep this going forever.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's fun.
It was created to be a one-season anime. It's not based on a book. It's not based on a manga. It's one and done. And it's nice, like, because you really do feel closure from it.
I agree.
It's a great show.
It is.
Watch it.
Yeah.
One season, you don't have to worry about like a 5,000 episode anime.
It's MAPPA, guys. You know they worked very long and very hard on this. Okay, guys. Well, in the honor of Zenshu, if there was one animated world that you could fall into and live out the events of it, what would it be? Let us know in the comments down below. Quick, Anna, what would it be?
A sign of affection, because
it's like
there's
cute
no conflict.
and nice. Yeah.
No conflict.
I think I might join you there.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun place. We can be on the side, be like rooting the characters on, like, you got this.
Yeah.
Love is fun.
Yeah, maybe we can like go on travels with them. You know?
Yes, like camping or like the amusement park. I think that's a great call. All right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.